right, we're approaching our South Pacific exhibit. Our South Pacific exhibit, which is a very popular exhibit. A lot of folks love it because it's got a fantastic story. And there's a very good dear friend of ours that is part of this exhibit, and that's Corporal John Residence. And we're going to come over here and see what he's doing, and I think he's going to be meeting some folks here soon. What you reading there, John?
4 batteries of 12. Yeah, each they had 4 105s and Fox, Easy, and Dog. We had Fox, Easy, and Dog.
So you're reading about who? About yourself, huh?
Yeah, right here. So
oh, look at here.
Yeah.
Corporal John Residence. Iwo Jima survivor. Holy smokes, you were in the bloodiest battle
of marine history.
As far as of the 20th century.
Yeah.
You were there from day 1 to day 36.
Yeah, from February 19th to March 26th.
You saw it all. You actually witnessed that event right there. The flag go up on Mount Suribachi.
Yeah, well, I didn't pay much attention, but I looked, and there was no flag there. And the next time I looked, zoom, it was up. And what made me realize it, all the infantry guys were laying around us, and I didn't even know they were there. And they jumped up, and they started screaming and hollering and everything, because taking that Suribachi was taking a stronghold.
Yeah.
You know what kind of a stronghold it was? I think somebody said they even had a steel guard, a plate. They could close their hole, then open it up, push out artillery, and boom, 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 then pull it back and close it. And the spotters on board them ships were looking. They were trying to knock them out. So, but they really didn't knock everything out because they had orders to pull out. And the general said, please stay 1 or 2 more days, give us that firepower. They said, no, we got orders to get out of there.
How old are you now, John? How old are you?
I'm still 86. I'm going to be 87, June the 27th.
Wow. And you're still a motivated Marine.
Oh, I'll always be a Marine. They say once a Marine, always a Marine. It's the truth.
You love your country, don't you?
Oh, well, nobody would do that unless they love their country. Yeah.
What's your message to people that visit this museum? What is your message?
I'm proud that they would visit here and get an education. The younger the children are, the more the education they get here, the better off they're going to be in life. And there's a lady that you had the group there that had a birthday party. And I sat down and had a nice meal. And then she came over to me, and she said, went up to my face like this, and she had money in her hand. And she said, here, John, I want you to take this. I said, no, I don't take money for what I do. I'm honored to do what I do. I said, you give that money to the tour guide or to John Piazza. She said, I already took care of them. I said, well, I don't take money. So anyway, I said, you're a heart doctor? I said, well, my Mary's going to you, I'm pretty sure. So she said, I want you to know, your Mary doesn't have any heart problem. All she has is palpitations. Well, that made me feel good,
Well, that's nice.
Thank you very much. Now, she just recently, when we went over there, Mary got treated over there, she said that her son is going to Admiral Farragut Academy. And she said, would you come over and speak when he has his graduation? I said, sure I would. I say I would, but I'm going to get over there.
Let me ask you some questions, John.
Yeah.
Let me ask you some questions. Why did you join the Marine Corps?
I'm on account of Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor?
Account of Pearl Harbor.
But why the Marine Corps other than any other branch?
Why? When I was a sophomore in high school, I think, sophomore, then I turned a junior, I saw a Marine in the dress greens, and I said, I like the uniform and I like what I hear about the Marine Corps. I says, tell me something about the Marine Corps. I said, why did you get into it? Oh, he says, because they're the best. I said, well, I want to be the best. In fact, I volunteered for the Paramarines and the Raiders. You know why?
Yeah.
$50 more a month.
That was a lot of money back then, huh?
Oh, sure, you only got 50.
But it made your father proud.
Oh, when he said, how did he say? I can't remember what he said now, but when I told him I wanted to join, he said, you're not man enough. I said, no, Daddy, you have to sign for me. So then when I come home out of boot camp with my greens, and everything, you know what he did? Daddy wasn't one to kiss me on the cheek. He grabbed me and kissed me on the cheek. He said, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
So, that's good coming from him because he was tough-minded. So I wrote letters home to him all the time,
You had to save your country.
Well, yeah, you just know you got a job to do, patriotic. Yeah, see, when I read about the Revolutionary War, that's one thing that inspired me. General George Washington getting down on his knees in the snow. He didn't even have shoes on. He had rags around his feet. And all of our guys didn't even have uniforms. And I thought how tough they had it to fight the British, And they were our early, to me, fighter. When I read that Revolutionary War and how they said, grab anything to fight with, a shovel, a spade, anything with a sharp instrument, and fight them, see? And we were ill-equipped to fight them because the British had beautiful red uniforms, and they had the best rifles and everything, and they used to line up, and they would shoot our guys. So when George Washington figured out how to go across that Trenton,
Yeah.
and then when he landed, and he got him by surprise early in the morning, and they won the Battle of Trenton there, and I read all this. This history was fresh in my mind.
So the founding fathers inspired you.
Oh, certainly, because this is what our country is all about. They wrote the original laws of the land, and the original laws of the land, our Constitution, stood for a long time, and we lived by it, And then they had
And it's important that our current generations, our young generations, and future generations have a better appreciation of it, don't you think?
Oh, sure, because the more you learn about history, the more it'll be with you. Like some of the kids that I spoke to at Osceola Middle School, 600.
Yeah.
And then some of the other ones that you took me to different places. I'm sure they'll remember what I said because their minds are that absorbent that they'll know that this country's worth fighting for. That's what it's all about.
It's worth fighting for.
Oh, yeah.
It's still the beacon of light, the hope of mankind. It's that shining city on the hill, like President Reagan used to say.
Yeah, because, sometimes when I speak, I think that maybe I disillusion some of them because of the horror of war, So that's why at that Dr. Luciella, when I spoke to them, I said, tell me now, after I've told you about the horrors of war, I said, would you still fight for your country? They raised their hands and they went, yay!
So what do you think of that map above, which is Operation Downfall? After Iwo Jima, you were supposed to invade Japan, and that was going to be really, really ugly. President Truman dropped the atomic bombs, and, he saved you guys from going in there because we were looking at incredible amounts of casualties. And you would have been part of that, John, no doubt.
Yeah, well, all I thought about it was they were issuing us alpaca socks and boots and stuff, and it was probably going to be cold over there,
Yeah.
But see, then I actually, after they dropped the atom bombs, I did go into Japan. I went into the southernmost island of Kyushu.
Yeah.
And right there at the naval base of Sasebo. So when I landed, I looked over at I don't know which one that was. The atom bomb dropped on.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Yeah, I don't know which one it was, but
one of the two.
They said it dropped there, and all that was left was like this: the steel girders.
Yeah.
The whole city been wiped out. And I thought, wow, what power!
What did you notice about the Japanese people, because you were part of the occupation force? Tell me about the Japanese people shortly after World War II.
Once we went in there, they all bowed to us. They all bowed. And in fact, that book that I gave you, I got it from a school kid. I went to his house, and the school kid was showing me that book where it was English and Japanese. Because they said Japanese, English is their #2 language. And they said they are so smart, they only have a 2% illiteracy rate. They're the best country for having the smartest people. Their illiteracy rate is only 2%.
But they're very honorable people.
Oh, they are honorable. In fact, I got letters at one of the reunions, and I read them. They write back their father and mother, and they say, dear father and mother, we are going to do everything to fight for you and fight for Honorable Hirohito too, you know. See, they believed in him, but he was like a god. And
the emperor.
What was
the emperor.
Well, he was Hirohito.
Yes.
Yeah, he was the emperor. Well, he was the one. They wouldn't surrender unconditionally. The first bomb they dropped, they didn't answer. And then the second one, they said they'll surrender. We got one provision: you don't hurt our emperor. They honor him. He is their god.
So what's your message to the American people about coming to the museum and coming here to the Armed Forces History Museum in Largo? What do you tell the folks here in the Tampa Bay area?
Franklin, how you talk and how John Piazza got this set up, or at this museum, or the one in New Orleans, or the one in Norfolk, near Norfolk, if they go there, they're going to get an education. And the more educated you are, the better you can adapt.
Well, thank you so much, John. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, and God bless you.
God bless you, Frank.